as of the last couple of days, and as it will continue to be, it has been mostly about Esports World Cup, and we do have some tier list, I guess, to go over, some predictions, if you will, and the latest results coming from that, and then also some of the drama in the Apex scene and how it seems to be recovering as we approach the new season. Obviously, the game has been in a bad spot. Are we finally bouncing back? That is the question. Not many videos over the last couple of days because there hasn't really been much to cover. Everybody's been on standby waiting for Esports World Cup to be over before they start making roster changes. And of course, we still got ALGS Split 2 playoffs as well. This is always kind of a dry period. So trying to pick up the pieces where we are. Firstly, I think I need to make mention of, although it is a main channel video, we've already posted it. If you want to go see a deeper dive, go check that out on our JMeyels channel. But it is worth mentioning that Apex did come out with an update to the drama that's been going on in their scene, battle pass, all that stuff. The biggest thing to pull from the ALGS side is the fact that they said your priorities are our priorities. Cheaters and game stability and the quality of life updates are top of mind, and we need to get better as far as how we're acknowledging those things. Now, apparently there is someone that basically said there was a UI feature, quality of life change and stuff that they've been working on, I guess, since like the start of the game, since they started here, and it's finally getting approved. It's finally working. It's coming to the game soon. I'm hoping that this is the case more often. I'm hoping that we do go these directions that have been suggested for a long time now, right, with cheaters. Maybe the whole Overwatch program where, you know, players can ban cheaters or whatever if they're in a trusted program, something along those lines. Like, there are some decent ideas out there. I hope that they act upon them, and we're not just saying we need to. They did say, look, we understand we need to communicate more, and that's why we're saying everything at once. I hope that it actually is backed up with actions rather than just we're going to get better and then the next season we're back at square one having another cheater outbreak, another cheater situation. No one's listening. We're not getting what we want. And someone did make a great point, right? You see all this stuff and everybody, you know, like myself, W communication, this is good, but it's very likely. We've heard the W communication before with the old event that happened over a year ago, and we still came back to this spot. So is it going to just be a matter of months, years, or ever that we just go right back to them doing another money hungry, money bag scam, whatever? And, you know, it is what it is, but that's the news as of late. And all your pro players are all happy, including myself, with some of the communications that we got yesterday. But also had to make mention of some of our, you know, ALGS and Esports World Cup situations going on. Last Monday, we had challengers take place. And if you guys have not seen this already, absolutely impressive coming from 5-star. This team has won all 3 challenger circuits at this point, right? Back to back to back. They are without a doubt the best challenger circuit team I think out there right now. And however, they have had a little bit of a roster change. You could see, you know, 3 in a row is very, very commendable. I don't know if this has ever been done in challenger circuit. If it hasn't, then obviously we just broke a record. If it has, let me know down below. But however, you do need to make mention there is an update, and I was actually playing here in the space of Mamba. So while it is 5-star winning back to back to back, it's not necessarily the same roster winning back to back to back. So big ups from those guys. I'm interested to see if they're going to make any sort of, you know, run here from Pro League and, you know, going into the next year, or also a big one, LCQ coming up. And people are asking questions about LCQ, which we need to make mention of pretty shortly as well. So also wanted to make mention coming from the Esports World Cup side of things. This is a big one. So over the last couple of days and weeks and continuing to go on, we will continue to play in the Esports World Cup scrimmages. Now, this event will be taking place this next weekend. So that's going to finish on August the 4th. So we should be starting around like the first or so, first, second, whatever of August. So this is literally coming up next weekend, not this coming up weekend, but the following weekend. I shouldn't say next weekend. So obviously set a timer, get ready, get your calendar scheduled, because there's going to be a lot of Apex to watch and a lot of money to be won. This is a big real event. This is not just like an oversight tournament coming up or a realm tournament. This is a big deal, as probably equal to an ALGS tournament. So as far as the money goes, now Keanu comes out, obviously one of the content creators for EXO, and this is his tier list of teams that could win right now. Interested to see if you guys agree with this one. I'll basically kind of rebuttal some of these that I don't agree with, but agree with some that I do agree with. So firstly, you've got Falcons, Fnatic, Alliance, TSM that could win, or that we could really see winning this thing. And I do agree with that. Honestly, I don't feel comfortable putting anybody else in this list right now, although I do think some are very, very close and some may be closer than others. I don't even know if I would put Alliance quite yet. While they look strong, they're not necessarily looking like winnable as far as like versus the Falcons. No offense. It's just my personal opinion. Finals though, Aurora could make it. I could see that. Crazy Raccoon, I could see that. SSG, of course, I could see that. NIP, I love NIP. I love Nasky and the team. I just don't know that we've seen from them what we need to see, but I guess time will tell. I'm not mad about them being in the finals personally. You know, I like the team enough to just put them probably higher than what they deserve. Team Liquid in the finals as well. I could see that. Luminosity and Twisted Minds I could see as well. Now, could Qual, I also agree with a lot of these. FaZe Clan, obviously you have to put them, if not finals, at least could Qual, because they just won the EMEA scene for the Pro League of you know, ALGS. DMS, Elevate, Pioneers, Makers, Guild, Esports, Not Moist, which is Mizuchi, by the way. We'll cover that in just a second. Gaming Gladiators, Virtus Pro, NRG, Navi, and GHS. And then you've got no finals, like not even going to make it to the end. Reject Winity. I don't know if I agree with just some of these. Like I really could see like Passion UA making it to the finals. I really would love to see EXL make it, because those guys have been grinding so hard in South American region. And there's obviously a lot of disrespect for that region, I think. But I think probably one of the biggest like slap in the faces here has got to be, which honestly, I got to give it to Keanu, rightfully so. DSG has not been playing their best, but to see bottom two, DSG, well, he's got bottom two, but there's three here. Geek Esports, Disguise, and Riddle. These guys obviously have a lot to prove, a lot to show. Disguise, though, man, I mean, I think we all agree this is not the Disguise that we saw from ALGS Split 1. They have not only not performed in ALGS Split 2, they don't necessarily show any signs of crazy promise right now inside of the Esports World Cup. I do agree with, obviously, the big ones, though. Falcons, Fnatic, Alliance, TSM are up there. Alliance is my questionable one, but I do also think that SSG could arguably be up there. Maybe FaZe in the finals or so. I think all of these teams could be mentioned. Interested to see how Elevate plays, though, especially with the new roster update that they're doing for Esports World Cup. Don't forget their you know, ALGS roster is not being affected by this. And then also KCP, really rooting for KCP here and hoping the best for those guys. Obviously, a lot to prove, and also Not Moist Esports. So let's take a look at Not Moist and how these entire scrim results have been going as of late. So in the last 4 days, here are the teams that have been playing, and here are the results they've been getting. So starting it off with 2 days ago, you've got SSG, Aurora, and Falcons in the top 3. Guild, Makers, FaZe Clan, Gaming Gladiators, Alliance, Disguise, and Evos in the top 10. NIP and dead last on this one. Then over on the next Group B, this was yesterday, you had Space Station, Alliance, and TIE in the top 3. DMS, Heroes, TSM, Dragons, Guild, Team Falcons, Northception in the top 10. Obviously, this is only an 18-team you know, group play here, so it is what it is. Also, Falcons, Esports, DMS, and Fennel in the top 3. In the next set, had FaZe Clan in 4th, LG in 5th, Geek in 6th, Pioneers, Twisted Minds, TSM, and Gaming Gladiators in the top 10 there as well. Disguise down in 17th, EXL, and Crazy Raccoon. By the way, Crazy Raccoon is the old Reject Winity, of course. We made mention of this multiple times, so to see them down there, very, very interesting. Also, don't forget, before we go over the last set, I also want to make mention that this is not, you know, Keanu made a great point. This is not going to be using the POI draft. So just remember, this is kind of old style Apex from what we have been seeing over the last couple of months. So just keep that in mind. Things are going to be played out a little bit differently. You might see some more contest and such. I guess the whole structure of this might be slightly different. So then you had DMS, Mizuchi, Alliance, Elevate, Riddle, Order, TSM, Dragons, Weibo, Navi, and Fnatic in the full lobby of 2 days ago inside of Group B. And LGD, Heroes, TIE, NRG, Passion, Northception, SSG, Virtus, HAO, and Team Falcons in the bottom 20 there. Mizuchi, once again, is Not Moist Esports. Not really sure why they've changed their name or why they're not playing under Moist anymore, or what's going on there. For whatever reason, I thought that Not Moist was obviously a good route. They've been kind of sticking with that for quite some time. But yeah, they've changed their name in this, and I'm not sure how like this has any kind of long-term implications, if this is staying. Haven't even seen them really open up about it or talk about it. So not sure what's going on there, but just wanted to make sure you were aware so that you weren't seeing Mizuchi and wondering who the frig that was. Also wanted to make mention, big news for the future of esports as it continues to develop. Not only are we having this World Cup now, and this seems to be a very common occurrence, and it's going to continue to be so. I think it's like actually set for like the next 8 years or something like that. But anyways, we've got the Esports World Cup. Obviously, you've got your ALGS World Championship stuff going on. Then you also will now have the International Olympics, because the Olympic Committee just have unanimously voted yes for the creation of Olympic Esport Games. So interested to see where this one goes. Will we have like all these other, like, will it be just a select couple of games, like your big ones, League of Legends and maybe whatever? Or will it be basically like we're having with the World Cup, right? You got Apex, you got Call of Duty, you got, I think Fortnite is having their own thing, if I'm not mistaken. Rocket League. You've got League of Legends, Dota, CS. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There's just so many different games. I'm hoping that's what it's going to be. But what I really like about this one, the Olympics versus the Esports World Cup, is World Cup is allowing teams to basically play with their teams and their organizations rather than the country of origin that they're associated with. I really want to get some of that old, I'm about to say football, and I'm going to tick off a lot of Americans. But look, real soccer is actually football. Okay, they had it first. We need to call it football. So I really like the real World Cups where you see the countries represented, and it really means something. It's like you really want to get behind that country and support that country. And so I would love to see America go up against like Mexico. Like, could you imagine Mexico making it to the finals with Team Liquid right now and going up against America, which would be like the Falcons? Well, I don't know. Actually, couldn't do the Falcons because half of those guys are Australia. So you'd have to have TSM come back together and play for America. Dude, it would just be incredible to see these teams have to form up. How many teams right now have so many countries involved in one roster? It would be a weird split to see, but I would love to see stuff like that. And I'm hoping we do go in that direction. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends Esports. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.